Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mercy Oge, and for this video we'll be learning how to make a balloon skirt. So if this is something you're interested in, you may need to watch to the end. And for the upper part of this dress, which is the funnel corset, I've already made a video about it. It's already in my channel, so you may want to check it out later. I'll be using this pink crepe material for this tutorial. The length of the skirt is 20 inches, while the lining will be 16 inches. That is, the lining will be 4 inches shorter than the main skirt. And I'll also be using the same material as the lining. You can use a different lining if you choose. And also for the lining, I'll be using a quarter circle. To get a full circle, you're going to fold your fabric into two this way. Then you're going to go ahead and fold it again into another two. Then from the edge, you're going to divide your waist circumference by 6. Then for a half circle, you're going to fold it into two this way. Then you're going to divide your waist by 3 and mark from the edge. So now for this quarter circle we're going to use as the lining, we're not going to fold our fabric. We're going to start from this edge as it is open this way. You're going to start from the edge, and then you're going to divide your waist by 1.5. After dividing the waist by 1.5, it's advisable to add extra 2 to 3 inches so as to make the lining inside a bit fuller and be able to pass through the hip, especially for people that have a very bigger hips. For instance, I am waist 30 divided by 1.5. I'll have 20, so I added extra 2 inches. So from the edge of my fabric, I marked 22 inches all around. So from that point, I'll begin to mark the length of the lining, which is 16 inches. So I'm going to be marking 16 inches all across the fabric. On the process, I noticed that my fabric was not enough on the other side, so I had to add extra fabric to complete the measurements. When I was done, I went ahead to cut it out. For the main skirt, you're going to multiply your waist by 3 or 4 or 5, depending on how full you want the balloon to be and if you have enough fabric. But for me, I multiplied my waist by 3.5 because I did not have enough fabric. I wanted it to be multiplied by 4. So 30 multiplied by 3.5, I think I have about 105 inches long. Then the length is 20 inches. Also note that for the lining, you don't necessarily need to cut a quarter circle for it. You may choose to cut out a very long straight material and gather it to the waist circumference. Also know that if you're making a skirt, you need to minus the length of the band before imputing your measurement. For instance, if you want to use a band of 1.5 or 2 inches, you need to minus it before imputing your measurement. For me, I'm not minusing anything because I'm making a gown, so I'm starting the measurement from the first inch of the tape. I've gone ahead to join the lining. That part that was shortened, I've gone ahead to join it. So what I'll do next is to iron it flat, then I'll keep it aside, and I will bring the main material, the skirt material, because we are going to gather the down parts. So I'm going to run a gathered stitch on the down parts, and then I'll gather it up to fit the down parts of the lining. I'll do that and show you guys. I've gone ahead to run the gathered stitch, and it's time to gather it up. So I'll keep gathering it up until I get the length that will fit the down part of the lining. You may want to measure the wideness of the down part of the lining, or as you gather, you keep checking until it fits. I'm done with the gathers here, so what I'll do next is to get the lining and place the gathered part on the down part of the lining, and I'll use my pin to secure it. Then I'll sew it up. So this is it after sewing. What we're going to do next is on the waist of the lining, you're going to mark your waist circumference. Then you're going to pleat the excess. You know, when we're marking the lining, we added extra 2 inches for the fullness so that it will be able to pass through the hip. So we're going to pleat the excess to fit in the waist circumference, but before then you're going to mark out 1 inch on the 2 sides for the zipper allowance. So what we're going to do next is to sew the sides and turn it up to the right side. So we're going to get the tip of the lining and match it up with the tip of the main fabric this way. Then you're going to run a stitch from the top to the hem. You're going to do that on the 2 sides of the fabric. But before then, you're also going to run a gathered stitch on the waistline of the main fabric, and then you're going to gather it up to fit the waist of the lining. Then you can go ahead and sew the 2 sides and turn it up to the right side. Here I'm done gathering the waist of the main fabric, so what I'll do next is to match it up to the lining with my sewing machine. If you have watched to this point, please do well to hit the like button, comment, and also share. And if this is your first time coming across my video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So what you're going to do next is to fix the band and the zipper, and that will be all for the skirt. But because I'm making a gown, I will just explain to you guys how to fix the band. So you're going to cut a band of 2 inches on fold or 1.5, depending on how many inches you subtracted for the band while cutting your skirt. There are 2 ways you could fix the band. The first one is to close up the sides of the band, then turn it to the right side, and you can now go ahead to fix it to the skirt. So after fixing it, you can use your overlock or weaving machine for the rough edges. The second method is to pick one side of the band and sew it to the right side of the skirt. So after sewing it, you are going to turn it and flip it to the wrong side of the skirt and sew it this way. You're going to fold the remaining 1/2 inch on the other side of the band. You're going to fold it in a way that it covers the rough edges on the wrong side of the skirt, and then you're going to sew on it. When you're done sewing, this is what you'll have. This is the right side and this is the wrong side. Once you're done with all of that and joining the bands, the next thing you're going to do is to close up the back and fix your zipper, and that will be all. With that being said, I'll see you in my next tutorial, and please do well to like, comment, and share this video.